Hi guys, it's Tamara coming back at you with another video. Let's go ahead and jump in. As you know, we've been spending 2 days a week talking about suicide. This is in recognition of my upcoming book on adolescent suicide. The Kindle version and the Nook versions are already published, so you have access to those. But the paperback copy is going to be published May the 1st in recognition of Children's Mental Health Awareness Month, excuse me. So what we're going to do today is we're going to just jump right on in. We're going to talk about relationships and how they can kind of lead to suicidal thoughts. I think this is an important topic. I just had a session with someone who talked to me about a lot of behaviors that she had seen in people that she trusted, and unfortunately those behaviors led her to consider suicide. So we're gonna talk about that today. The benefit of this video for you is that number one, you're gonna be able to see yourself, hopefully. I'm sure in all of these categories, in the 12 categories that I'm gonna go over, you're probably gonna see yourself. So you're gonna build some personal insight. Number two, I think it's healthy and I think it's cathartic to be able to hear someone else kind of talk about relationships in a way that makes you feel validated and understood. I also think that this also gives you the permission to be angry and to be hurt and to feel like you've been wronged in a relationship that you were in or currently in, whichever is your situation. But I think it's important, and I think those are the two benefits that you're going to get out of this. So let's jump right in. So these are 12 unhealthy boundaries that are likely to destroy your relationship and most importantly, possibly lead you to have suicidal thoughts. So on my blog, blogs.psychcentral.com/caregivers, I wrote an article called Relationships 12 Unhealthy Boundaries, right? 12 unhealthy ways to react or act in a relationship. So let's start with the first one, and I'm going to expound upon them because I think this is extraordinarily important for not only you, but me too. It's for all of us. Okay? So the first unhealthy boundary in a relationship is something called psychological urgency. If you hadn't seen my blog video yet on that topic, I'm going to link it up in the top of the video here. I think you're going to really like it. Basically what it is it's the idea that somebody comes to you in an urgent fashion. That urgency kind of triggers you or pushes you to feel hurried or rushed or chaotic. The whole idea behind psychological urgency is to get you to make a decision without processing it and thinking about it and considering the consequences and weighing the pros and the cons. So the whole idea, when somebody uses psychological urgency, the whole idea behind that is to get you to be impulsive, right? It's to get you to do something most of the time that you know you should not do. Okay, that's psychological urgency. That's one, or I should say the first unhealthy boundary in a relationship. The second unhealthy boundary in a relationship is frequent attempts to capture you. I'm sure you have seen relationships where it feels like that person is on a chase, right? They have an ultimate goal to come after you. They have an ultimate goal to capture you and get you and do whatever they want to do with you, right? Whether that's use your intelligence, use your money, whether that's to manipulate you into thinking that you're loved by them. Some people might also use what I call psychological manipulation, which is like compliments and appearing to be loving and free-spirited, right? Appearing to really adore you. All of those tactics are used in unhealthy relationships to capture you. The person wants to capture you to gain something in return. Okay, the third one is no recognition of your emotions. When somebody is in a relationship with you, the first thing they should be concerned about is how you feel, right? How do I feel? How do I think? How am I going to perceive this, right? That person must consider your feelings, and if they don't, you're headed for disaster. Whether that's a working relationship, a romantic relationship, a family relationship, or a parent-child relationship, emotions have to be considered, and without that, there's nothing left. Okay, there are two things that I typically bring up in my sessions with people who are struggling with emotions in their relationship. And the first one is gaslighting. Gaslighting is the idea that a person will do things to you, or there's issues in the relationship, but the person kind of like nonchalantly pushes it to the side. What that does is it causes you to question yourself. Is it me? You know, is it the fact that, you know, I said something wrong the other day? Is it because I get angry really fast? Like, is it me? Or gaslighting might cause you to, you know, think something like, you know, that person's angry with me because of who I am, or maybe they're not really angry with me, or maybe I just think they're angry with me. So it gets you in this cycle of repeatedly questioning yourself. Gaslighting is very psychologically, I can't use those two words together, can I? They are psychologically manipulative. Those behaviors, the gaslighting behaviors, are very psychologically manipulative and emotionally draining, because you're constantly on this mental journey to figure out if you're the problem. Stonewalling is the second thing that I mentioned in session. Stonewalling is the idea that the person in the relationship with you completely stops communicating with you in an attempt to control you, right? Because you, as the other person in the relationship, are waiting on that other person to respond to you, whether that's over text, email, phone. You're looking for them to be reciprocal. When they stop that reciprocity and they stop communicating with you, what does it do? It causes you to question yourself, and it makes you crazy. You end up, like, you know, going up after that person more and more because you want to get them to respond to you. Both stonewalling and gaslighting are control tactics, and I think they're important concepts to keep in mind. I will be talking more about this on this channel, so hit the subscribe button so you can get the message that I'm going to be sending out pretty soon, because we're going to talk about it. There are people who consider suicide because of gaslighting and stonewalling, so we will be talking about that soon. All right, the next one is little care or concern about your health and safety, right? In a relationship, there has to be a reciprocal concern of safety. When there isn't, you're going to have problems in your relationship. Somebody who is unhealthily in a relationship with you, whether that's work or romantic or family or parent-child, if they don't consider your health, your psychological, physical, emotional health, if they don't consider your safety, then there's obviously going to be a major problem. You might see manipulative individuals not care about your safety when they want something for themselves, right? So let's say, for example, you're really good at photography and you're doing a really good job of taking pictures for people's weddings and so forth, and you know, you meet somebody at the wedding and you guys become friends, right? You think you guys are on the same level, everything is going well, but all of a sudden this person starts asking you to take pictures of little kids, or take pictures of women who are nude, or take pictures of things that are pornographic and inappropriate. Let's just say you're in that relationship with this person who's manipulating you, and you go ahead and take them up on their offer. Right? What environment is that putting you in? Possibly a club environment, possibly, you know, getting you in trouble, because what's going to happen is if nude pictures are found on your laptop and it's of underage individuals, it's pornography, right? So putting you in situations where your health and safety is not being respected, that's an issue. All right, the next one is multiple attempts to team up with you. Some individuals are very narcissistic in the sense that no matter what you say to them, if you say no a million times, they're going to continue to pursue you, right? They're going to continue to pursue you, whether that's to team up with you to do a work project, whether that's to team up with you to help you on your blog, or whether that's to team up with you on your podcast, or team up with you, you know, to put a wedding together, right? They're constantly, these individuals with unhealthy boundaries, they're constantly looking for a way to get in. And no matter how much you block and say, no, 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 I don't want you to come in, they're going to keep trying to come in. They're going to look for whatever hole they can to get in. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this as well, because it's narcissistic behavior. It's also emotionally unhealthy behavior. And so we'll talk about that a little bit more as we move along. Lack of respect for your need for privacy. Again, it's kind of similar to the health and safety, but you know, lack of respect for your privacy is another issue. Some people are naturally introverted. I'm naturally introverted. You probably didn't think that, but I'm naturally introverted. I would rather be at home with my mom and my brother, or at home by myself with my dog. I would rather be doing things by myself than spending my weekend in a club partying, right? That's just not me. So individuals who need space, need privacy, right? They can start to feel invaded by an individual who doesn't respect their privacy, right? So that's important. The other thing is attempts to chip away at you or your life. And what I mean by this is these are individuals who chip away at you, right? They're constantly looking for a way to get something from you. They're constantly looking for a way to get around you or get over you or get behind you, right? They don't want you to ever catch them. They don't want you to ever suspect them of being cruel and harmful. So these individuals have a tendency to triangulate. And what I mean by triangulate is they typically, it's you and that person, and they typically involve a third person. So it creates a triangle. That third person either makes things worse or make things better. And for the most part, that third person makes things worse, right? Because that other person in the relationship with you is talking to that third person, and that third person is forming their own opinions and their own thoughts about something. And it causes a triangle that later will explode because everybody is misinterpreting everybody. Boundaries are fluid or just completely not there. So these individuals chip at you little by little, right? They do little things that adds up over time, and the relationship completely dissolves or falls apart. Entitlement, right? This is the individual who feels that they should be entitled to be a part of your life no matter what, even if you ask them to leave you alone. The simple fact that they feel entitled, they don't really care. They don't really care. And no matter how much you say, I really don't want you a part of my life right now, I don't trust you, it doesn't matter. They're going to push, okay? Attempts to test you repeatedly. Some individuals don't understand no for an answer. Some individuals won't even respect your space, your privacy, your health, or your safety. These individuals will repeatedly test your boundaries to see if they can get on your nerves, to see if they can reduce you, to see if they can get in, okay? Sneaky behavior behind the scenes. So gossiping, ostracizing, harassment, stalking, doing things on social media that's inappropriate, you know, always hinting around or indicating undercurrent subliminal things about you or about your situation. Those are all unhealthy tactics and behaviors that unhealthy, emotional, and manipulative people engage in. And it's not good for the sustainability, growth, and maturity of the relationship. Split personalities, so they're switchable. One minute they're nice and on your side, the next minute they're avoiding you, right? One minute they're smiling in your face, and the next minute they're saying something inappropriate. And we're not talking about a person who's just putting on a happy face to get through something. We're talking about an individual who switches up, right? Every 2 seconds they're switching up. We'll also talk about this more as we go along, because I think it's important for me to point out that some individuals with borderline personality traits will show these behaviors. So we will definitely look at this as we go along. And last but not least, emotional and psychological manipulation. What I mean by this is that everything that they do involves emotional or psychological manipulation. You never can catch up to the individual. You can never figure out what they're doing. You can never figure out what their thoughts are, what their emotions are, what their motives are. You are always lost. All right, guys, so thanks so much for tuning in with me today. It was a little bit of struggle for me at the very beginning, so I apologize. It's been a long day. I just got done with the session, but I wanted to make sure that I did do this video and post it for you so we can continue our educational conversation on suicide. We're going to continue conversation on relationships, and like I said throughout the video, we're going to focus on specific things like split personalities, borderline personality, narcissism. We're going to focus on those things because all of these characteristics can push someone into wanting to take their lives. The reason why I decided to post this video during, you know, this series of videos on suicide leading up to May 1st is because the individual that I just got out of a session with basically said that she considered suicide because of behaviors like these. She felt trapped, she felt helpless, she felt paranoid, she had no peace of mind. And I think a lot of people feel this way. I get emails from people overseas in Britain, in Scotland, in London, and also in South Africa and in India, who have written me emails and have done Skype sessions with me, or VC. VC is another tele-mental health platform. We've talked about this, and a lot of people all over the world are experiencing relationships like this. It's unhealthy, but I think, you know, the more we bring awareness to it, the more we educate each other, the more we talk about it, the easier and the better things are going to be for us in relationships. We need to be aware that there are people in the world who are not healthy for you. So guys, I encourage you to give this video a thumbs up if this was helpful to you. Feel free to share it with friends and family. Somebody might find it useful and timely. I shared it with someone the other day, and you know, they were pretty psyched about it. They were glad to see that they're not the only one dealing with this, and I think a lot of us feel that way when we come out of abusive relationships. We're relieved to know that, oh, okay, great, we're not the only ones dealing with this. So give this video a thumbs up, guys. What it does is it pushes the video to the top of the search results so that other people can gain access to it. So there's some madness, there's some, you know, some intellectualism and some intelligence behind my madness when I ask you for a thumbs up. So thanks so much, guys. I look forward to talking to you soon. Everything is going to be at the end of the video on how you can contact me, but you can also find me on Twitter. That's where you're going to get me faster, at Therapist T. You can go to my website, anchoredinKnowledge.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. At the very bottom, you can leave me a voicemail or an audio message, and I'll be happy to answer you there. So thanks so much, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye.